Allora, oggi parliamo brevemente dei verbi irregolari. So, first of all, I want to point out that we define a verb irregular when it falls outside the standard pattern of a conjugation. So, for example, today we're going to look at 4 verbs: andare, dare, fare, e stare. Okay? So let's look at the verb andare at the beginning. So we already talked about the fact that the infinitive form has always 2 parts in a verb. A part that is the stem, the root, la radice del verbo, and a part that is the desinence or the ending of the verb. And in this case, the ending is again in are, and the ending is the movable, the changeable part of the verb. So if the verb is regular, the root of the verb doesn't change. So in this case, it would be and. But as you can see from the conjugation here, in reality, io vado is not a form that it's predictable by looking at the infinitive. So irregular verbs have a conjugation that it's not predictable, that does not follow the standard pattern. That's why for andare we have io vado, tu vai, lui, lei va, noi andiamo, voi andate, loro vanno. Okay? Let's continue now with so the verb andare, again, are common irregular verbs. And you will have to memorize the present tense form or find a way to remember them. As you notice in the verb andare, in reality, the noi and the voi form are the only 2 regular forms. So il verbo andare is usually followed by the preposition a plus an infinitive to talk about where people are going, to talk about what people are going to do. But it's not used like in English to talk about a future event. Vai a pescare al lago, are you going to fishing at the lake? Le ragazze non vanno a ballare. So it's not used exactly to predict, to talk about a future action, but it simply indicates the movement, something that they're going to do. Generally, we use the preposition a after andiamo for cities and small islands, and in before the names of country, region, states. Vado in Italia, vado in New Hampshire, and so forth. E adesso abbiamo il verbo dare. Dare is a verb that it's followed again by the preposition a, usually to identify the person you're giving something to. So the conjugation is io do, tu dai, lui, lei dà, noi diamo, voi date, loro danno. Marina dà le carte a Giuseppe. Please note that dà has an accent because we want to distinguish the form of the verb dare from the preposition da, from. Maria dà le carte a Giuseppe. Do la bici a Caterina. Dare is used in in common expressions. Dare del tu, dare un esame, dare del lei, dare una mano. Adesso guardiamo il verbo fare. Fare, again, is highly irregular. In reality, the stem of the verb that we're using is the Latin root, facere. Io faccio, tu fai, lui, lei fa, noi facciamo, voi fate, loro fanno. Ok? Io faccio, tu fai, lui, lei fa, noi facciamo, voi fate, loro fanno. The verb fare means both I do, to do, and to make, and it's also used in a lot of idiomatic expression. So whenever in English you use the verb take, in Italian we usually use the verb fare. Fare attenzione, fare il bagno, fare la doccia, fare colazione, fare 2 passi, fare una domanda, fare una foto, fare una gita, fare una passeggiata, fare la spesa o le spese, fare un viaggio. Massimo fa colazione al bar, facciamo le spese. So these are expressions that you will have to memorize, to learn. And then we have verbo stare that you already had the saw when we were talking about inquiring how somebody is. It's also used in expressions like stare zitto, to be quiet, o stare attento, stare attenta. Io sto, tu stai, lui, lei sta, noi stiamo, voi state, loro stanno. Okay, so you can see again that some of the forms are actually, we can say regular because stiamo can be predicted, state, but other forms are not. So at home, complete the table, practice learning the verbs, practice the idiomatic expressions that are listed.